Live from CBS4. Your News at 6 starts right now.
We begin at 6 with our 7th straight day of 90-degree temperatures, but that is about to change.
Temperatures will drop. We are expecting storms. That's a live look at downtown as the heat wave is about to break. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Chris Wright for the details on the forecast. Hi, Chris.
Yeah, Bob, depending on where you are across central Indiana, you may have a mix of clouds and sunshine, but you may have some darker clouds and rain, especially across the northwestern part of the viewing area. Here's a line of showers and storms that's approaching us. Heavy rainfall now making its way between Champaign and Lafayette. That line of showers and storms lifting off to the northeast about 40 miles per hour, but that entire line advancing eastward at 20 miles per hour, and that'll put the rainfall here in the city by about 9 o'clock this evening. Those showers and storms across Illinois will be making their way in. The heaviest rainfall right now up toward northwest. Scattered showers going on in Lafayette right now, so I'll give you a closer look in Monticello up in White County. Heavy rainfall from Monticello down through Walcott. Farther to the west from Fowler to Boswell. More heavy rainfall in west central Indiana all the way down toward Attica and Covington and Petersburg getting in on some of the rainfall. We're going to stay with scattered showers and storms throughout the evening hours. Rain moving into the city by 9 o'clock, and thunderstorms will continue throughout the overnight period. And a couple of these downpours going to be quite heavy across central Indiana. This is not the only rain we're going to see over the next 7 days. We'll talk about a change in our weather pattern coming up in your Weather Authority forecast.
Sounds good, Chris. We'll see you then. CBS4 is your Weather Authority. Make sure to download our Weather Authority app. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or IndyWeatherAuthority.com.
New at 6 tonight, inspectors are working at the home where a woman died. Another man was injured.
The Marion County Health Department was on scene today, and tonight we are learning that they have found a number of code violations.
CBS4 Shannon Hauser shows us the problems they discovered at the site of a deadly collapse.
The Marion County Health Department will be out here this week to inspect this balcony after a woman died and a man was hurt falling from it, all because a railing collapsed. Now, while it is not mandatory for yearly inspections, the property owner tells me this balcony hasn't been inspected since he bought the house about 8 years ago.
A handrail for on the front porch, soffits, gutters, downspouts, fence around the property, the back porch, that balcony back porch area, and some window frames.
A handful of violations issued Tuesday by the Marion County Health Department for this home on the near southeast side.
It looks like that some of the wood is deteriorating and doesn't have any paint on it either.
The structure of this balcony included in those orders the site of a deadly accident where a woman and man fell 2 stories from a railing that collapsed. The landlord, Dan Crook, has 30 days to fix the issues on this property.
If after that time there's no progress and repairs have not been made, we have the option to file it into environmental court.
Code violations like this one aren't anything new for the health department. Officials say they're on track this year to surpass last year's numbers, with more than 2,600 housing orders issued so far this year.
Our inspectors do respond to complaints, as well as when they're in the area. If they see something, they do have the ability to just write on the spot.
That's the case for other properties owned by Crook around the city. Online records from the Code Enforcement Department show he's been cited more than 15 times on properties he owns, like this now abandoned house on Grant Avenue. Crook told me off camera he didn't think the railing that collapsed was any cause for concern. The health department, though, is hoping to get a closer look.
It's walking on it, it's shaking the handrails, it's trying to, step up on the steps and see, how much give there might be on the steps. A lot of it's just simple physical observation.
Now, if you do rent a home in Indianapolis, you can actually check online to see if your property has any code violations. We have a link to it over on CBS4Indy.com/links. Reporting on the near southeast side, Shannon Hauser, CBS4 News.
New at 6 tonight, strong words from Governor Mike Pence about the United States deal with Iran. Today, the president gained enough support from U.S. senators to block Congress from undermining that deal. It's a deal that Governor Pence strongly opposes.
It's a bad deal for America. It's a bad deal for our most cherished ally. I don't believe it achieves the objective of ensuring that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon in the foreseeable future, and for that reason, we urge members of Congress to oppose it.
Pence and 14 other governors wrote a letter stating their opposition. They hope more states will follow.
Today, we learned the assistant chief of police of Butler University has been arrested. Andrew Ryan was arrested for drunk driving Saturday night. He was off duty and in his personal car when he was pulled over. His blood alcohol level measured at .27. Ryan has bailed out of jail, currently on paid administrative leave from Butler University during an investigation.
The man accused of running a deadly drug gang was charged in court today for his alleged role in 4 killings. Prosecutors say they're not done with the case yet. Richard Grundy already faces charges of drug dealing after leading police on a gunfire-filled chase on the north side last winter. Now Grundy is accused of paying a hitman, John Means, to commit a pair of double murders in early 2014.
We had charged John Means with these 4 murders some time ago, but while we had suspicions about Rick Grundy's involvement, we didn't have any proof. Since that time, we've had a couple of witnesses come forward that were able to link Richard Grundy to these murders, and so now finally we were able to file.
Investigators say they suspect Grundy and his crew were involved in perhaps 20 murders across the city since 2012. More charges could be coming.
3 men convicted for a brutal Northside home invasion robbery 2 years ago will spend decades behind bars. Today, Michael Pugh and Adrian Anthony both received 88-year prison terms. Taiwan Lundy was given a 72-year prison sentence for the October 23 home invasion on Spring Mill Road.
Today, the 5th and final Richmond Hill suspect had a pretrial hearing. Lawyers for Glenn Holtz asked that his trial be separated from other Richmond Hill defendants and that his GPS monitoring device get removed. The judge took those motions under advisement. Earlier this summer, Mark Leonard was found guilty of all charges, including murder and conspiracy for organizing the 2012 explosion that killed 2.
An update tonight. The coroner confirms that the deaths of 2 people in Columbus are the result of a murder-suicide. It's believed that Marlon Diaz killed Dormarie Santiago Roland, then shot himself. Her 2 children were home when it happened. Neither were hurt, but her 7-year-old son witnessed that death. There is a GoFundMe site to help provide support to those 2 boys. You can find information on CBS4Indy.com/links.
Greenwood officials say they need to find a way to pay for more police officers. The department has 58 sworn officers. With a city population around 55,000, the department would have to double in size to meet federal staffing guidelines. Mayor Mark Myers plans to ask state lawmakers to allow the city council to pass a 1% food and beverage tax for public safety. The mayor has tried it twice before and failed each time.
Which I find rather disheartening, because the state legislators, I've got plenty of them quoted and saying we need to do more to help public safety. Yet when I come with a food and beverage tax that's going to go towards public safety, it gets shot down.
Greenwood officials have made cuts to the upcoming budget, which will allow for 3 additional officers. Police and city officials say that's only scratching the surface of what's needed.
The standardized testing saga continued today at the State House. The iStep test has been plagued with intense problems since 2013. Millions have been spent trying to fix it, and today lawmakers talked about whether to scrap the entire thing. The afternoon started with a quiz.
It can be timed, it can be locked down to going in a correct order.
8th grade math questions for these lawmakers using this clicker. The company Turning Technologies pitched lawmakers that the iStep or any new state assessment should be used with this clicker as opposed to web-based testing prone to hacking.
Not only are they nervous about needing to know the material, accountability is higher than ever. And you're also saying, oh, and by the way, the technology may not work.
So if you have a clicker, every student in the school can have a clicker and they can all take the test at one time instead of having 5 or 6 days.
Lawmakers are embarking on a long discussion about whether the state's iStep test works, given high-profile testing problems, alongside last year's panic when the test jumped to 12 hours before lawmakers stepped in. The question before them now, whether to scrap it altogether or adjust testing as new concerns rise over test accuracy and security.
Very, very high stakes for schools, for students, for teachers.
This afternoon, the Department of Education released projections for the spring, less time than last year given that widespread panic, an estimated 8.5 hours for 10th graders and about 9 hours for grades 3 through 5. A new vendor, Pearson Education, will administer this year's test. The company updated lawmakers today, yet concerns still remain given flaws and security concerns in their own system.
We really want to make sure that whatever assessment we look at in the future is meeting the needs of the students and educators and parents, so that we're providing data to help make sure the students are being successful in school.
The committee made no decisions today. Lawmakers will take this testimony when they decide whether to draft legislation in January.
In Hamilton County, an historic grain elevator could become affordable housing. The Hamilton County Area Neighborhood Development told our partners at the Indy Star they hope the site located near downtown Noblesville can be turned into a 3-story building with 54 apartments, parking, and space for shops. They hope to buy the property within the next year. Today in Speedway, groundbreaking for a new restaurant and beer garden. The corner of 10th and Main Streets will soon become home to Big Woods Speedway.
We're in the business of creating great experiences for our customers and our friends who visit our places and enjoy our products.
This will be the company's second location in Indiana. The first is in Bloomington.
CBS4 is your home of the Colts, and we are counting down to the start of the regular season. Take a look. There it is. 4 days, about 18 hours until kickoff, when the Colts will take on the Buffalo Bills. Sunday, you can watch the game right here on CBS4. Kickoff scheduled for 1 p.m. Today, players kicked off something else called Community Tuesdays. They visited 5 Indianapolis schools. Players read to students and delivered more than 1,300 free books. This is all part of a project to encourage children to spend more time reading. So we caught up with one of the Colts' new running backs, number 38, Tyler Varga, at Westlake Elementary.
Being, a pro football player or a pro athlete that so many people look up to is having a positive influence on people, especially the youth. I always think it's really, really awesome, when all the little kids are excited to see us, and I think it's our duty to, we've been put in this situation. It's our duty to have a positive influence in their life.
All right, so Tuesdays is the only day for NFL players during the regular season that they have off. CBS4 is a proud supporter of the Colts Community Tuesdays. Tonight on our sister station, Fox 59, we are premiering the Dwayne Allen Show. You can watch it on Fox 59 starting at 7:15 tonight. It also will be streaming at fox59.com. every Tuesday night.
Everybody's looking forward to it. It's going to be a great season.
It is. It's going to be a lot of fun. The state of Indiana is home to nearly 500,000 veterans.
A recent report says we're not taking care of those veterans the way they deserve. Up next, see how Indiana compares to the rest of the country. Hear from support groups about what our Department of Veteran Affairs needs to do to measure up. Plus, we'll have this.
Tonight's the night we've all been waiting for. Stephen Colbert makes his debut as host of The Late Show. I'm Suzanne Marquez. Much more coming up from the Ed Sullivan Theater.